Hey, everybody. Merry early Christmas. The countdown is on. Saturday will be here before you know it. I'm just waiting on LeVan to get in the room with me. I think he might be having a few technical difficulties. So let me get him all situated. Let me give him the link again. I hope everybody's having a terrific Tuesday. It's Take Action Tuesday. And what action are you taking today to get busy in your business? I hope you are taking those steps and doing those things to move the needle forward, even with the holidays. As entrepreneurs, hey, we got to keep that grind going. If you are joining in live, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. If you give StreamYard permission for me to see the comments, I can see your name, but I'm getting all my little screens together so I can see you on Facebook. If you don't give StreamYard permission, let me just go ahead and get my screen together. Again, I'm just waiting on Bobby to hop in. LeVan, excuse me. His name's LeVan Bobby Jenkins. Sometimes I slip and call him Bobby. Just waiting on him to hop in here with us. Again, he's having a few technical difficulties. So let's see here. Hopefully he'll jump on here soon. So again, thank you for joining in. How's your holiday shopping coming? Got everything all purchased, wrapped, and ready to gift? Me, on the other hand, I don't have a whole lot to do, just cook. So that's going to be easy for me. If I can get up the courage to go to the store, I promise myself I'm going today so I can fight those crowds. So for those who are joining in, I am sharing how to create highly successful and profitable Facebook ads without a huge ads budget or experience. And I did 5-day workshops for 6 months of 2021. And I want to introduce you to Mr. LeVan Jenkins, who recently, as of last Monday, which would have been, what would that have been? The 13th, he started his very first Facebook ad, and his results have been nothing but phenomenal. So hopefully, let's see what's going on with him. I'm going to ask him, let me see, get in using the link. So if he doesn't jump in, I will just share his results with you so you can see how his business is being transformed with Facebook ads. So bear with me and hopefully he'll jump on here soon. I was feeling my lips were a little dry. So all right. So while we're waiting on Bobby to jump on live with us, there he is. We've got him.
I'm here.
You're here. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so happy to have you here today. I was just sharing how you've had some amazing results with your Facebook ads and sharing how, Facebook ads are going to help move the needle forward in your business, show families how to create a living legacy, and also live an amazing life through travel. So for those who don't know me, my name is Cecilia. I'm known as the Digital Marketing Maven, and I've already said what I do. So LeVan, take a minute and introduce yourself to everyone.
No problem. Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is LeVan Jenkins. I give you a little bit about my background. I spent over 21 years in the United States military.
Thank you for your
Um,
service.
you're welcome. And after that, I contracted. I got bored at home. Yeah, well, actually, let me before I go forward. I worked on Fort Hood because I retired from Fort Hood, Texas, here in Killeen, and I
Mhm.
worked there for about 2.5, 3 years, and then I contracted over in Iraq for about 4 years. Came home, got bored. Went to Afghanistan. Worked there about 4 years. Uh, I came home. I worked at the post office for a little while.
Mhm.
I worked in this company called Performance Food Group inside the freezer where it was like
Okay.
15 below zero. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I worked there
wow.
for a little while and then I said, hey, I'm too old for this. I can't be, 57, 58 years old and working in a freezer and trying to do what these young guys are doing. So I decided that, hey, I'm done with working. I'm through with working. Only thing I want to do now is help others become successful, run my home-based business through traveling by being a business owner. So
Love that. And right about now, we are all itching to get away somewhere. It's like that Calgon commercial, just take me away. And
Yes.
being able to do that, what we call pay to play, you get to travel as a business owner. So that is great that you found not only a business that you love, but a business that provides services to the average person. So before we get into how you and I connected with Facebook ads, go ahead and tell us some of the benefits that people get from being part of the company that you linked arms with, your travel company.
Yes. With my company, of course, it's a home-based business.
Mhm,
Um, you can actually become a CEO of your own business, by building a network. There's a saying that goes like this: hey, you can carry buckets or you can build a pipeline, you know.
mhm,
So if you have dreams and goals in your life, you can't do it by yourself, guys. You have to have someone to help you. And once you get to the top, you can pull them to a top. You can't get very far being solos, being solo. You got to have a team. Where everybody can benefit from each other. You can have the best business or best product in the world, but if you don't have anyone uh helping you with that, you'll only grow to a certain level. Just like you can put a fish in a small fish bowl, they're
mhm,
not going to get bigger than their environment. Now you can take that same goldfish or whatever, put them in a ocean or a creek or something, they'll get bigger. Same thing with your business.
mhm.
You have to you need people to get there.
That is so true, and team is so important, especially in this entrepreneurial space. Together, everyone does achieve more. And that's why network marketing or MLM to some people, or even affiliate marketing, is so attractive to a lot of people because it allows the average person with a minimal investment to actually have a home based business. So, Bobby, so tell our audience how it is that you found me on this internet space.
Well, too easy. You
Ah,
know, I, ever since I was growing up, guys, I had dreams. I tried a little bit of everything because
mhm,
my attitude was like, hey, if these guys can be successful, I could be successful. There has to be a way. I just have to find it. I just
mhm.
have to find that, because everybody's not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And I
Right.
was just I was looking. I was hungry. I can just visualize myself being successful, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a way of doing it. I can visualize myself getting across on the other side, but I needed someone help. And
Mhm,
I was just, going through social media looking for someone. And I stumbled across Cecilia and I saw her and I said, I'm gonna do this. But the first thing that I thought about was that word fear. You
mhm.
know, we all fear the unknown, and fear is false evidence appearing real, guys. But I said, I'm not gonna let fear stop me. I want
Mhm,
to do this. And I ran across her, and just listening to the things that she was telling me, what I'm
mhm,
saying? The right words that she was telling me, it was the words that I needed to hear to encourage me to be able to take that step and go forward. And I said, I'm going to do this because if you want to succeed at your business, the best thing you can do is invest in yourself. Don't
mhm.
look at how much this costs or how much that costs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you're going to get a ROI in return, you know?
Mhm,
So I knew then that hey, nothing is gonna stop me. I didn't look at cost or anything. You know what I'm saying? I said I want to do this, and hey, it was a blessing that I stumbled across her, and since then everything has been it's been good. It's been good.
Well, the feeling's mutual. It has been a great experience working with you, LeVan. And when you stumbled across me, were you looking for Facebook ads or what were you looking to find to build your business?
I was looking for, actually, I was looking for, I didn't know anything about that much about Facebook ads. I was looking for digital marketing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And then I saw your ad that you teach digital marketing, and I said, well, if I learn digital marketing, that's how far is that gonna put me ahead of a lot of people, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I said, I'm gonna try this because with me, guys, I'm the type of person, I don't want to just be successful. I'm that type of person who want to help others. I
Mm-hmm.
don't hoard information. I have a team that's under me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm learning, what I'm learning right now, I can't wait to share it. I can't wait to, and it's a system that you can duplicate. If
Right.
you can duplicate the people that work under you,
Mm-hmm.
a system that they can learn, oh my gosh, the sky is the limit. You know, you are only as good as your team, guys. You know,
Right.
not you, your team, because you can be very, very successful. But if your team is not doing anything, you won't get very far.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
it's
one
about
of
the
the
team. Yes,
yes. And with network and affiliate marketing, that's one of the hardest things that people struggle with is teaching their team how to build a team, right? We don't
yes,
want to make a list of 100 people. We're tired of approaching strangers. Your business doesn't even have samples, so you can't give out sample product. All those tactics that we used to be taught, for network marketing, home parties with this whole pandemic thing. You got to take everybody's temperature and all. I mean, you can't do all those things that we've done before. So digital marketing is where it's at. And then you got to pay to play, right? Every
exactly,
company needs to have a marketing budget because if
exactly,
you're not marketing, how are you getting the word out about your business?
exactly. And let me say this. Let me say this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Through experience, through being in the field, you know, um, I'm like, prospecting. That's the old way of doing things, guys. I'm not saying you can't continue to prospect, but
Mm-hmm.
you are wasting a lot of time and energy prospecting. Take advantage of automations. Take
Yes.
advantage of that. Let automations do your heavy lifting.
Right.
That's the easiest way because at one point I just got tired of just chasing people, trying to find people who had dreams and goals, who wanted to be somebody. I spent
Mhm.
too much time. Spent too much energy, too much work, and it was like I was just spinning my wheels. You know, with learning digital marketing, with learning how to use Facebook ads, it takes the guesswork out of everything. Now, when I was prospecting, it had got to a point, before I had, a couple of years ago, door knocking and cold calling and all like that. You can't do that stuff anymore. I wouldn't
Oh
dare
no.
to, I wouldn't dare to door knock on anybody
Okay.
right now in the times that we live in. But
Right.
yeah, on, let automations do your heavy lifting. With
Yep.
Facebook ads, you can define your audience. You can use demographics and let Facebook find your target,
Yeah.
find your target market, and those are the
Yes.
people that you should be targeting. I doing prospecting. I didn't have eyes that if I went to Walmart, I can see this person have a sign on his chest saying, "Hey, will somebody come up here and talk to me because I want to get in the travel business." I don't know who want to get in the travel business, but with Facebook, using Facebook ads, man, I mean, it takes all the guesswork out, and I needed something like that. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, Bobby, if it's okay with you, I would love to be able to share your results with our audience on where you stand today. Is it all right with you if I share your Facebook back
Sure,
often?
sure, sure, sure.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and pick the screen. So let me share the screen and I'll flip over. since I have access to your back office, that is.
Yes. Okay.
So everyone, this is LeVan's back office, and he can't see it, but I've trained him well, so he checks his results on a regular basis. So there is a protocol to testing and finding your winning Facebook ads, but LeVan has been winning from out the gate. He's got an ebook that he is offering to people who want to find out how to have a travel business, to live the life of travel and make money while you're doing it. So just to share some of his results here, he's getting 51 cents a lead, 84 cents a lead, $1.34 a lead, $1.38, 70 cents a lead. And then look at his link clicks. 19 people had said yes out of 22 link clicks. 12 people said yes out of 20 link clicks. So he is getting some phenomenal results. And that's what Facebook ads does for you. It allows you to leverage the power of Facebook to find the people that are looking for you. So, Bobby, let's take a couple of steps back because, the Facebook ad is kind of like, whoo, we made it. Okay. Tell everybody a little bit about our journey to get to the point to where we were able to create your successful Facebook ads.
Hey, yes, on our way to get to where we at now, we had some stumbling blocks,
Mm-hmm.
but during that process, we learned. We
Mm-hmm.
learned what to do and what not to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And it's okay. It's okay to run into stumbling blocks or have a plateau or make a mistake because you learn from it. That's the only way that you learn. And now that long journey, we finally got there. We
Yeah.
finally got there because when I first started out, when CC would talk to me, I didn't quite understand the lingo. And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get this. But I wasn't I wasn't comfortable yet.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't comfortable. And because I wasn't comfortable, I had that little bit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
But repetition had taught me that if I keep doing it over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get it. It's gonna click, And now I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It's like it's too easy. It's too easy now. And like I said, fear. We fear things that we don't know about, but
Mm-hmm.
she grabbed my hand. She stayed there with me. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that because she wanted me to get it, and she want all her students to get it. One thing about CC I said is it's not CC is the type of person she don't take credit for what she did because I said CC. I said, you did this. She said, no, I didn't do it. She said, I didn't do it. She said, you did it all. But that's one thing I can say about her. She don't take credit for what she do, but she's just a great teacher, guys. She is really there for you. She wants everybody to succeed, and I really appreciate her. I really do. Yeah.
Well, again, I have to say the feeling is mutual. I always tease you and say you're my techno newbie turned techno
It's
pro.
okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you were a little intimidated,
Yeah.
but the good thing about you is that you are a great student, right? Like you absorb everything. And because in our membership portal we have the training library, you went through and rewatched the videos until you got it. And then once the light bulb clicked, you were like, oh, okay, I get this. So you are one of those students that I love to work with because you are like a sponge. You take everything in. So I appreciate you for
I
that.
appreciate you.
So when we got to the finish line and we finally got our Facebook ad and we're getting these amazing results, everybody talks about the iOS changes and how paying less than $5 a lead is unheard of. And here you are getting leads for 50 something cents and 70 cents and $1.30 something cents. It really is all about the target audience, your lead magnet, and then you got to have the all of the elements of an ad. You got a great image. You know, we always talk about that blue water, that great image, a great headline, and then you have to have the copy that connects and converts. So we were able to put that trifecta together to where you were able to create a great ad that resonated with the people. So can you tell the audience about the testing process and the protocol and how that's working for you?
Oh, it's working good. Just like you said. Let me share this. You know, the human attention span is only 8 seconds. 8 seconds, guy. So if you don't write content that's it's like a hook. You
Mm-hmm.
know, most people graduated from school. Some people went to college. Some people got a college degree.
Mm-hmm.
When you're writing something, you have to have a hook. You have to grasp their attention right then.
Yep.
If you can't grasp a person's attention within the first sentence or paragraph, you won't get them. So we worked on, writing good content.
Mm-hmm.
I would, write something, CC will look at it and say, no, we need to change this. We need to change that. And we changed it, and we created a great image.
Mm-hmm.
And just the testing part is the testing part is going great. you know um I'm learning about metrics. You know what I'm saying? Right now we're in the stage of we just tested the long copy, the short copy, and the medium copy.
Mm-hmm.
My long copy, I think it was my long copy, and my short copy was basically going neck to neck.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think one of them had like 80 some no, well, I think one of them had maybe about a 7 to 8% opt-in rate, 7 to 8%, and the other was probably 72. So we decided to just cut off the other ads. So now I'm just like, running one ad. That's the small copy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we just changed images. So I
Yep.
added 2 other images, you know, and that's another important thing. It's the right image.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll say that because if you go to a restaurant or something, when they advertise, they make
Yep.
this hamburger look so great, man, that you would want to try it. And that's the thing when you are doing ads.
Mm-hmm.
Most important thing is the type of content that you write and the image. So
Yep.
right now, everything is going good.
Well, and the image is what stops the scroll. So what Bobby's LeVan, I'm sorry, I always switch back and forth. What LeVan is referring to is, so there's a testing protocol to running ads. And I think that's where a lot of people get the game twisted with Facebook ads. First, Facebook ads is the long game. It's not the short game. If you think you're
Mhm.
going to pop an ad out there and all of a sudden money's just going to start flowing like water, then don't run Facebook ads, because there is a protocol. You have to test the copy. You have to test the image, and you have to test your headlines. And you test all that until you find what resonates with the audience, because the audience is what you care about. We may be like, oh, I love this picture. It looks great. Or we may write some copy and be like, oh, this copy is going to get them. But when you test it, you find out like, okay, you know what? They didn't like that image, or they didn't like that copy, or that headline is not doing as good as I thought. So there's a testing protocol that you have to have with Facebook ads. And, with my engineering background, I'm all about testing. So this is right up my alley. But in terms of teaching and my teaching style, how do you feel as though you've been supported through your training process?
Oh, I have been supported because every time, well, I very well, because every time I have a problem, you tell us, don't I'm here, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I mean, the support, I couldn't have asked for anything better. And that's the thing. With that support, you show me that you care, you know, and that's the biggest thing. If you show me that you care, that speaks volumes, you know, because you want me to succeed.
Right.
And that's the important thing. Somebody want me to succeed. you're not just out to do, just get money, but like a lot of people do. Some people don't care whether you succeed or not,
Mhm.
but you are there, and I really appreciate that. So the support, oh my gosh, it is you have, and I'm not just saying this to just say this, but you have gone up, like they used to tell us in the military, when you go above and beyond,
Yeah.
you you have gone above and beyond your call of duty. You know, so and I wish I could award you. I wish I could give you that medal, because
Well,
I
you
tell
know,
you.
Bobby, my dad always said, because he was an entrepreneur my whole life, and he always told me, because he raised me to be an entrepreneur. I had my own little candy store at like 11 years old. I was selling candy at school and before school to the high school kids. But one of the things my dad always said as an entrepreneur, and when he won his award from the Indianapolis Black Expo, he said, it's not, what did he say? It's not how much money you make, it's how many people you help make money. So
That's
the
it.
way I look at my business is your success is my success. So if
Yes.
you fail, then that's a reflection of me not giving you the tools you need to succeed. So I'm so glad that we have stuck it out. We started around the beginning of September, and here we are with your ad. It's firing on all cylinders. You got all these new people coming into your world. And I know it's only going to get better as we go into the new year. So one
Yeah.
of the things you mentioned earlier is about the investment. A lot of times people get caught up in the cost of something. And like when I was interviewing Joe, when I went to college, it was nothing for me to come out of Purdue $37,000 in debt, right? When I went and got my MBA, it was nothing for me to come out $70,000 in debt, because that's what we're taught, right?
Mhm.
But when it comes to investing in ourselves and getting the skills we need to be entrepreneurs, people always get a little squeamish. Or, and I hate to say it, our people, they always want to hustle you on the price.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
can you, and that's no disrespect to anybody out there, because everybody hustles trying to get a better price. So, can you talk about the price that you paid for the services that you're receiving from me and the team?
The total price.
Well, you don't need to share the price, but do you feel like you're getting your investments worth?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I think I'm getting more than what it cost me. I'm getting, I'm getting more than 100% return. Uh, uh, back. I'm getting your time. Not only am I getting your time, but you're teaching me. So I mean, I'm getting more back than what I
Awesome.
have actually invested. So I have received the ROI on my investment. That I could be happy about, and can say, hey, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I took that first step. To go forward. Because right now, you know this course right here has given me the confidence that I need, to share with my team,
Mm-hmm.
without, being skeptical about it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I wanted, everything I desired to have, I have received that. I have received the education. I have received uh I have learned, I'm sorry, I have learned how to do Facebook ads, how to read metrics and stuff. And I'm far ahead of where I was. I started this course, September, 1st of
Yep.
September. And I'm this far now as far as my knowledge base has increased, you know. Uh
Well, I
so
gotta
I'm
give it
happy
to you,
about it.
Bobby, because not only were you doing this, learning Facebook ads,
Yeah.
but you're going to school as well, working on your bachelor's degree in accounting and finance. So
Right.
kudos to you, because you are really doing some big things over there.
Yes, yes. And I tell you, because I love dealing with numbers.
Uh-huh.
I love learning, showing people how money works,
Mhm.
compound interest, investments and stuff.
Yep.
That's something that's me. That's my niche. And I love that. And I love sharing that and helping people, Knowledge is the new rich
Ain't that
in today's world. You
it?
know what I'm saying? It's the
Yes.
new rich. So arm yourself with it.
Yes. Well, I love that,
You know?
Bobby. And thank you again for taking the time to talk to me and share your experience in my Facebook ad training and share the fact that, again, this is something that you can share with your team so they can be successful as well. Because it's all about reaching back and getting somebody's hand and pulling them up as well. So learning Facebook ads gives you the ability to do just that.
And I would say this, and I have, if you're gonna be a leader of anything or anybody, you have to lead from the front
Yes.
and not from the rear.
Yep.
You have to be an example for your team.
Yep.
You don't tell your team, okay, team, go and take that hill. No, as a leader, you take it first.
Right.
You know, you be that example. So as a leader, I had to do something to distinguish myself from others, from
Yep.
my people.
Yep.
And that's another reason why I took this course, because they're looking at me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at me, a leader, uh, they, like I said, I don't take credit for anything, but anything that I do wrong as a leader, I take responsibility for it. A leader has to take the good and the bad with the bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be an example to my people, the people that's under me, my peeps, as I call them, so that I
Mm-hmm.
can show them, this is how I do it. You have to be able to clone them to be
Yep.
like you, you know. You have to
Exactly.
be able to be available for communicate. You have to communicate with them all the time. You have to share what knowledge you have and pass that down to them.
Yep.
You can't, like I said, you can't hoard knowledge and keep it, because you want to look smart, you want to look better than everybody else. Everything that I know, I pass it down to them because I want them to learn and grow as well.
Well, and I think that's where a lot of people get frustrated and quit network and affiliate marketing because, again, as we discussed earlier, people are teaching those same old skills and tactics, but I quietly think in the background they're probably using some digital marketing stuff as well.
Yes.
I think that's what I think. I can't prove it, but I think it.
Yes.
So, and as a leader, you have to lead from the front, and having those skills to share with your team just makes you that much more valuable as a leader. Well,
Yes.
LeVan, again, I really appreciate you sharing this with our audience today. I've been checking if you guys have any questions about how to get started with Facebook ads, or if you want to find out how to have your own travel business where you can get paid to play. You've got a 12-month money back guarantee. You've got a 30-day money back guarantee. And it allows you to build a legacy that you can pass down to your family even after death, which is something that's unheard of, right? In network
Exactly.
marketing. So all of those things are available to you on the other side of levanstravelclub.com. So I just put the link and I'm going to pin it to the top comment of this video. So that way, if anybody wants to reach you, and talk to you about your business, just click that link, get his ebook, get on his email list, and let him know that you want to have a conversation. So, LeVan, in closing, if there's anyone out there that's on the fence, either because of the cost, because of the fear, or anything as far as Facebook ads, and more specifically working with me, what would you say to them?
I would say, hey, take this step. You know, um, you have to face your fears. If you're going to be successful in life, you have to face that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to, everything in life comes with a risk,
Yep.
but we're at this point where we fear more of losing than the possibility of gaining. And it's all about your attitude. It's all about your mentality. It's all about what you believe and what you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Bible said, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you can't do something, then you can't do it. If you think you can do something, you can do it. It's your attitude, it's the way you approach things, and
Mhm.
it's your mindset, guys. It's your
Mm.
mindset. Change your mind, you'll change your life because your
Awesome.
mind controls everything. Your mind controls everything you do. Your mind controls your action. Your mind controls your attitude. And I say this right quick. Don't base everything off of feeling.
Yes.
Get out of your emotions and go by
Yes.
what your heart tells you. You
Well,
know,
and it's so great that you said that because now it made me think of something else. That's why I love Facebook ads. Like you said, you're a numbers guy, I'm a numbers girl. And the thing about Facebook ads is that the numbers don't lie, right? You can
right?
tell right away if you got a dog or a pony with your Facebook ad. And LeVan came out with a thoroughbred ready for the Kentucky Derby right out the gate. But knowing the metrics allows you to make decisions based on the data, not on your emotions. And that's one of the things that I strongly teach within my Facebook ad workshop is understanding the numbers. Because when you understand the numbers, then you know how to pivot. And that's what we need to do as entrepreneurs. We need to know how to pivot. Daisy said numbers are everything. That's right, girl. If you know your numbers, then you know where you need to make adjustments in your business. So, LeVan, this has been a great interview. I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing in the next few months. I so appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience with me today. And I will let you close it out for our audience.
Let me say this one thing.
You're all
When
right.
it comes to doing something, never say, "Well, how much is this gonna cost me?"
Mm-hmm.
You say instead say, you know, this is just an investment, you know, for me to improve my life because using the word cost is negative.
Right.
You instead of saying how much or what how much is this going to cost me, you just say how much is this investment. You
Mm.
know, how much is this investment? It's the words that you use
Yeah.
because cost, you know, it's not a good word. So you use investment instead because, like you said, invest in yourself is the best thing you can do. You
Yep.
know, and you will get a ROI back in return if you stick with it. Don't cave in and don't quit.
Awesome. Well, thank you, LeVan, and I will see you tomorrow. We meet 3 times a week with our team to go over where we're at in our Facebook ad process. So, this has been a great experience. This is our second interview together, and you have come so very far from our very first interview. And I can't wait to see how far you go. Thank you, everyone, for joining in as I talk with LeVan today. And we've done all of this in September. We built his lead magnet. We built his funnel. We got his domain verified through Facebook. We got his pixel set up on all of his pages. We did everything we needed to do to come up with a great ad where he's getting leads for like 58.70 cents, $1.34. And again, the best is yet to come. So if you want to find out how you too can have a travel business, I pinned LeVan's website to the top comment of this video. And if you want to know how you can use Facebook ads to build your brand and your business, and most importantly, a business on autopilot, just hit me up. Again, I'm Cecilia, the digital marketing maven. Thank you all so very much for joining in with us today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to get back with you. Everyone, take care, be well, be safe, and be blessed.
Bye, guys.